Hey folks, Barnaby Dixon here. We're going back a few months and we're continuing the process of rebuilding the bug puppet. In this episode, we're going to focus on the puppet as a whole. In the last one, we focused mostly on the wing mechanism. You might see a slight overlap of processes, so if certain bits of footage look familiar, you're probably not watching the same video again. So let's go back. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of slightly shorter haired Barnaby. He can't hurt you. His hair's just a little bit shorter. What? So here's the original one sprayed with the chalk, and here's the print that I did from the 3D file. I've bumped up the size a little bit. I didn't really want to double scale it like I have been with the dab chick stuff because there's a lot of grinding to do. But I think this should be sufficient enough size-wise for me to grind a fair bit more detail into that and then rescan it and not lose too much. There's a little bit too much asymmetry on the nose on that side. You can see it coming out a bit. I don't mind a little bit of that, but I'll probably grind that down. I noticed this actually, sometimes the 3D scanner produces such accuracy that look at that. It can actually get the thinness so you can see the light coming through. That's fascinating that it was able to capture that. So this translucent eye effect was something that I really felt I could exploit a bit more. So once I'd scanned the second face with the extra detail, I had a new model that I was able to take into Blender and use some more geometrically accurate tools. And this is the result. Look at that there, that's wonderful. See the shadows coming through as well. It just looks so organic. There were, however, many pieces that looked less biological on account of being made in the 3D software. So for these pieces, I applied a specific process. I'm kind of just adding some milliput to this to make it seem a bit more organic and on brand with the look of the rest of the puppet. In some pieces, like these panels that attach to the torso, I was able to build the organic shape a little bit away from the original structure. This didn't affect the movement and things like clearance, so I could afford to do it, and plus, he needed a little bit more weight, a little bit more mass in that area too, so that worked quite well. In other pieces, like these shin parts here, I was able to create separate parts altogether. So they're almost like shin guards that clip on to the puppet's lower leg and add that organic structure without undermining the original fitted shape beneath. And these stems or stalks that you see either combining a couple of pieces or sticking out at the bottom of pieces were to aid with the scanning process. In the case that they join two together, it means that you can do a single scan and essentially get both parts out of that one scan. And in the case where it sticks out at the bottom, like on these chest pieces, it means the scanner can photograph all sides of the object a little bit more proficiently. In some instances though, clearance would have been such an issue that I couldn't actually add to the existing piece and just made organic looking pieces instead of those original parts. After many, many weeks of this process, scanning, refining, digital and physical modeling, I was able to assemble in software a pretty cool looking bug puppet. Okay, it's super late now, but I've just arranged the bug puppet in a manner that will fit on the print bed a little more snugly than the prior one. It's 3:30 in the morning, but I wanted to get this done because if I can get the printer working through the night, then it feels a bit more productive than if I get it going in the morning. Yeah. Okay, well the raft wasn't showing for some reason. That's the kind of platform that the resin print kind of prints on top or below because it's kind of reversed. So I'll take a little look when I start the print to see if the raft is printing, then I'm going to go to bed. This is the one here. Oh, Just occasionally the file isn't read. And it has to do with what I'm just so sleep deprived. I'm getting really pissed off. So later on I discovered that the issue was in the slicer software and it was user error, as it often is. I set an alarm a few hours later so I could get up and check on the print. All right, let's take a look. Oh, we're going good. We're going good. And the resin? I actually don't think it needs more resin, but I'd feel so stupid if it ran out of resin and I had the chance to top it up, so let's put some in. I should say it's important to use eye protection, a respirator, and also gloves when you're using resin. I found this out the hard way, and I may elaborate in a few episodes' time, so stick around if you want to hear the lesson, but that's the takeaway for now. The resin I'm using specifically is the Aqua 4K resin from Phrozen, and the printer that I'm using is the Mighty 4K, also from Phrozen. They sent me both of these items, I really like them, and there's promotions in the video description. Okay, let's see. Oh, this looks like it might have worked. Oh, I think it worked. Is there anything that doesn't look right? Everything looks right. Man, that's wonderful. There's a lot of small negative spaces in there, so I'm using Phrozen's wash and cure station here, and I'll probably just give it maybe like 10 minutes or so. There you go. Now I shouldn't leave it in too long because I did that with a fairly experimental part recently, and I turned it into cheese. Look at that. Oof. I left it in there for way too long. It was probably in the isopropyl alcohol for like a week, so not really an easy mistake, but to be avoided in the future. So when the excess resin had been cleaned off, it became very easy to appreciate the beauty and the detail of this print. It did a fantastic job. The light coming through those translucent elements, so beautiful. Looks like his eyes are opening. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good place to leave it for now. In the upcoming episodes, we want to focus on picking an appropriate resin. So something that is the right color, but also something that is durable enough to withstand the various activities and demands that I have for the bug puppet. We also want to figure out a way to reintroduce that signature glow. So stick around and we'll show you how we do that. Here's a link to my Patreon if you'd like to support these projects, and I'll see you next time.